American Home Shield, they started repairs on a heat pump, and then decided after that they couldn't fix it that they would not cover it, and then they won't. They're making it very difficult for me to contact them, and they won't return phone calls. Okay, well, I had a problem with my heat pump. It was freezing up, and I called American Home Shield in November, probably mid November, and they came out and they looked at it and said that it was low on Freon, and so they charged me, I think, right at $400 for Freon to refill the Freon, and the weather got a little milder, so it went a couple of weeks, like 3 weeks, and then it got cold again, so we had to use our heat again, and it froze up again. And so I called them back, and they said, "Fine, it's the same. It's under the same initial payment of $100." So they came back out, and they determined that it needed a He said that, and he told me at this point that the Freon had not leaked out, and he said it needed a defrost control unit. That's what causing it not to defrost, and that was what made it freeze up. And so at American Home Shield expense this time, they put in a defrost control unit. Well, it continued to freeze up. And so and each time I would cut it off. And so by the time the people got out, it wouldn't be frozen. But so the last time they sent the supervisor out, and this was with Arrow Heating and Air. And let me just say that they had changed companies. I used to go through Myers, so this time it was a different company. But the guy came out, and this time he didn't even call me. The next thing I know, that they tell me that American Home Shield's not going to, that the air conditioner has been physically damaged, and they're not going to replace it. And I'm not disputing the fact. I never have disputed the fact that there was physical damage. It does look like something they said. It looked like maybe a pressure washer, but I hadn't pressure washed it. I didn't damage it. The air conditioner is 15 years old. It's very old. They've put a compressor in it. They put, in the past, they put a compressor in it. There's no telling how much money they put in this condensing unit. And so I'm not disputing that there's physical damage. I don't know if it was caused by a hailstorm or what it was caused by, but it didn't happen between the time that the guy put Freon in it and put defrost control. So they worked on it twice, and then when they decided that they couldn't fix it, they say, "Oh, there's physical damage." That's what I have a problem with. And I've called American Home Shield multiple times. I've talked with a supervisor, and I got the supervisor, and I asked each one of them this question. I said, "What does it look like to you when you come out and you charge me money to work on the AC? You charge me $400 for Freon, and then you yourself pay $300 or $400 for a defrost control board, and then when you can't fix it, you say it's physically damaged." And I said, "To me, it appears like fraud. What does that appear to?" And I've asked 3 or 4 supervisors this, and they can't answer my question. They never can. And I talked with a lady named Crystal Brooks in the retention office, and she almost led me to believe that they were going to cover the whole thing. And she said, "The supervisor has got to look into this, my supervisor," and she said, "He'll call you back in 30 minutes. That was 1 month ago, and I hadn't heard or been able to get in touch with Crystal Brooks since then. And I have talked to multiple people asking for some, and they've told me multiple times that someone's going to call me back, and they never call back. They're just completely ignoring me at this point. But now I did talk with them day before yesterday, and they are sending Myers out for a second opinion. But I think he's going to see the same thing, that there's physical damage. But Myers told me that they would not even work on one if it had physical damage. And that, if they had said that to start with and said, "Look, this is damaged. We're not going to touch this," and left it at that. But I've already spent money on it, and they spent money on it. And then when it can't be fixed, they say it's physical damage. That I have a problem with. And no one has, they could try to sit down and work this out with me, but they're just ignoring me. And that's even a bigger problem, I think. And so that's kind of where I'm at now. And Myers is supposed to come out today, probably just shortly after this call. And I have a feeling he's going to determine the same thing, but that's not the issue at hand. They could cover my condensing unit for one, or at least try to work with me on it, and not just write that off.